Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to go from this eyebrow to this eyebrow. Let's get started. First, let me go ahead and break down the products I will be using in order, hopefully. Okay, so first we're going to start by just taking a spoolie, and this is what we use to just brush the eyebrow hairs up. Okay, if you have just a few, this is still good so that they get separated. If you have none, skip this step. Okay, next what I use is this Fluff Up Brow Wax by Benefit, and it's just clear. I mean, it's white here, but it doesn't show up on your eyebrows that way. So it's just a good way to get some texture onto each eyebrow hair so that it fluffs up more, as it says. This is one of my Miracle favorite desert island products that I would have. Okay, it's Milani's Weekend Brow. It's a microblading pen, basically. This is in the color Espresso, and it looks like this. Very fine tip pen, basically, and it's almost like brush strokes. And that's what helps basically create the little hairs that you'll need to fill in, like we did here. You can see up close, you can see all these little microbladed hairs. That was me drawing those on with this. The next thing is just an angled, small, thin angled brush, and some kind of eyeshadow palette. Or for the final touch is this Gimme Brow by Benefit again, and this is actually going to have some color to it. It's kind of like a mascara for your eyebrow hairs. I'll also be using a beauty blender or some kind of blending tool for the end, and I think that's it. So let me go ahead and get started and I'll show you. Okay, so first we are brushing up any hairs that we have so that we can get them off the skin and ready to look as fluffy as possible. Again, here's our example that we're creating over here. Gets everything just fluffy. It's like adding volumizing hairspray or something to your hair. This kind of just gives your hairs texture. We're not trying to make these look pretty right this moment. We're just trying to get them fluffy. Again, if you're doing this with no eyebrow hairs at all, you can skip these fluff up steps and go straight to the microblading Milani Weekend Brow Pen, and I'll show you how I use that at that point. Up, we can kind of see where a lot of the empty spaces are. And this is where the microblading pen comes in. This is where we're going to be filling in. So you can do anything from keeping it like this and just filling in the couple little gaps, or you could do like I've done on this side, which is create a whole brow around it so that it frames the face better. Basically, what you need to do is create 3 points for your eyebrow to have this arch shape that will fit with your face. So you want to line up the side of your nose, and that's where point 1 will be. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we're lining this up and making 1 point there. Let's make sure you can see that. You can make a few little hairs here so you know your starting point. That's our starting point. Then the second point is going to be our arch, and you just go right to the outside edge of your iris, and you create a second point here, so we know that's going to be the top of the arch of the brow. Then the third point is going to be taking a line from your nostril to the corner of your eye, and then making a point where it lands here. That's going to be the end of the tail of your brow. This part can be tricky and requires some practice, but hang in there, you'll get it. So you're just making light little brush strokes in the direction the hairs are growing. So you're just kind of filling in your spaces. If you don't have any hair on your eyebrows, this will probably be easier. You have no hairs in your way from making a good crisp line. But if you do, just work around them. So if you notice, the hairs right here in this corner are more straight up and down, more of a vertical brush stroke. And then as you start to go toward this way, you're going more of an angle. And then the tail of the brow, the hairs usually go back as well, and sometimes there's some cross hatching. but you don't want to make a whole marker line like this. Just as long as you get simple little brush strokes to resemble hairs, you're doing a great job. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our small angled brush, if you bang off the excess, and we're going to start actually at the peak of the arch. We're just going to put a little dab here and then blend it down slightly to the tail to a point. You don't want it to be too dark. We're looking more natural here, okay? Then we're going to load up the brush a little bit again. And we're just going to come now to the middle of this section. And stay in the middle. You don't want to lose your brush strokes you created on the outside. It looks more natural if it's darker in the center of the brow with some hairs that look like they're coming into it. Okay, so just stay more toward the center of that and then try to get everything to go together seamlessly. Next, I take the flatter square part of this brush and I hit up this bottom part by starting here and just lightly brushing up. Now I know these are sisters, not twins, okay? I never expect twins out of my eyebrows. That's one thing that has helped me feel okay about my eyebrows, is that they're not going to be exactly the same. No natural eyebrows in the world even are the same, so I'm okay with it. Next, I'm going to take the Gimme Brow in, what color is this anyway? I don't even know, but it's like a darker brown color, okay? And then I'm going to go with the hairs that I have and get some color on them so that they kind of blend into the rest of the hairs that I drew on, because my natural hairs are very blonde. So I want them to look like the rest of the hairs I drew. So there we go. See, you can see that the actual hairs that I have are darker now. So then I like to kind of blend this first corner here because I hate like a square, harsh line in this spot. So I'm gonna just take my beauty blender and just on this inner edge, just dab a little bit of it away. So it kind of blends more smoothly. Then I go back in with the Milani microblading pen, and any details that were kind of lost from doing that, I just kind of add in just a couple on top of it, and it ends up starting to look like there's dimension and layers, like there's a couple layers of hair there. That's what you want if you want them to look as natural as possible. So I just did some quick tidying up to make them a little bit more even, you know, and that's it. That's how we get our brows. So if you have thinning brows, no eyebrows, this is the video for you. Thank you for watching.